Gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. Oh, what do you have there, Sonal?
Oh, nothing. I'm just some dragons. Dragons.
More dragons.
Dragons and unicorns. My friends. I'm fine. I have company. I'm not isolated.
Important to have friends.
I'm gonna be okay. We've been getting real deep, me and Uni, actually.
You know,
I believe
look, everybody needs a friend. This is my friend.
Exactly.
I have a busted Barbie and a Miss Piggy.
Oh.
So this is
Busted
who I
Barbie.
chat with. Busted Barbie.
Busted Barbie's like empathizing hard with you right now. Like, I got you. We're going through it.
She always got my back.
Amazing. All right. I think.
Are we ready?
Well, we can just flip them all during the first performance. Yes. Great. Or the second.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We are gonna get started.
Welcome. We're dressed and ready to impress. Rada has her wig.
This one is,
Yeah.
Many of you know I own a lot of wigs, greater than 20 of them. This one I've had for a long time, and we've named her Lady Rada. So Lady Rada is here for you today.
And I'm wearing plaid because it's Lesbian Visibility Week, and plaid is like a highlighter for lesbians. So here we are.
Here we are. I know that in a lot of these kinds of things, people tell you to stay on mute and default to mute. We're the opposite in this house. We say only mute if you must. Otherwise, we want to hear you. We want to hear when you don't laugh, but we mostly want to hear when you do laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't do that if you're muted. So
Silence
I really
is tough.
invite you. So let's give a little tour of how tonight works.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have performers.
We will. We'll have performers.
They'll go in an order.
Mm-hmm.
And we will give, as the performers go on, we will give you, hopefully somewhere behind us, once we fix it, their payment information. And then if you feel more comfortable, we'll also have a general donation, which is at Rada Yovovich for Venmo. Feel free to give and give generously. The world needs artists. Here they are. Let's support everybody.
Yes.
So what else should we say?
Well, so I will. So Jan, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Jan. I live here in Uptown, Chicago. This is the Janikin. She's a fierce, independent woman that doesn't need pants. Yeah, that's me.
Perfect.
I'm a Gemini, Pisces rising, and Aquarius moon.
There was a very popular meme that was like, gay culture is texting your mom at 3 a.m. to find out what time you were born.
It's true. I feel like part of the new gay culture is giving a crystal when you break up with someone. Like, I love you so much. Here's a crystal.
It's escalated.
So we're still connected.
Oh.
So I invite you to explore the chat functionality. I've just posted the Venmo and PayPal information for the general shared pool. So that's the pool of tips that will be distributed among our guest performers. And yeah, we got to keep the art alive because it's keeping us alive. So I'm your tech master alongside my darling brother, Dushan. There you go. That's my Venmo for the general pool.
So our analog.
Good old school. So a few features that I'd like to invite you to explore in Zoom if you're not one of the people who's been spending 12 plus hours a day on Zoom like I have. First, the chat is your friend. Go nuts in there. Say whatever. If you say stuff that sounds like you're a time bomber, I will remove you. So don't say anything like sexist or pornographic or whatever unless like it's really funny. I invite you to message us directly if you have any issues, any questions. Raise your hand in the response if you're into like that kind of vibe. Really super polite. I might see it. Message each other, you know, just pretend you're in a bar and go ahead and introduce yourself to that cutie who's lighting you really admire and appreciate.
I know that there was at least one love connection.
There were a few
made
love
through
connections.
the chats.
And we're happy about it.
So, it's the new era. You can meet anyone, anywhere.
This is as close as we're going to get to being in a bar.
This is close.
And
For a
regardless,
while.
yeah, definitely check it out because that's where we're going to be posting all sorts of good stuff, like people's websites, their Twitter handles, things like that. As I said earlier, we're not that into mute here, so I would encourage you to only mute if it feels really like if you're like doing something weird over there and having a whole conversation, then like probably mute. But otherwise, we want to hear your reactions. We want to hear what you have to say.
Jonathan asks, is it okay if you cook? You're vegetarian. I don't know what the rest of the sentence, but the answer is yes.
We are fine with vegetarians here.
Cook vegetarian, cook full meats, give us meat pizza if you want.
We're open to all dietary proclivities. And one feature that we have this time that we didn't have last time, at the bottom of your screen is a closed caption box. If you click the little up caret next to it, you can turn closed caption on. So if you want to be able to, and it's actually not doing a terrible job. It's doing a pretty good job capturing what I'm saying. I'm watching myself be captured in text. So that, I think, is all of the important Zoom. Oh, Aretha wants you to know that
How do you turn the captioning off?
the same way you got there,
So
Mom.
the carrot next to the closed caption, you can click it and it will say
Yeah, except
hide subtitle.
there's no carrot. I
Oh,
didn't
it's
turn
just
it
a little-
on. It's just there.
I think you should probably just message Dushan. He'll help you.
Oh, are
We
you
got
watching
you,
on the
Mom. We got
watching on
you.
the Twitch?
No, she can't talk if she's watching on the Twitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Great.
My mom's watching on the Twitch. Hi,
don't worry.
Mom.
Perfect. I'm sure that between my mom and my brother, they'll figure it out. But I'm glad you're here, Mom.
And thank you
Thank
ahead of
you.
time before we even start for spending your Friday with us. The seventh Friday of the seventh week of the
For the rest of your
of
life.
the rest of your life.
So we're going to do a quick roll call, and we're just going to have all of our performers just say hello. And this time, you're going to say hello, and you're going to tell us what your go-to quarantine outfit is. So we're going to start at the top of the order here with Sarah Yovovich.
Yay.
Woo!
Yeah.
My go-to quarantine outfit is a pajama shirt and some yoga pants that are so full of holes that Rada has deemed we will round them down to being no pants.
Right on.
Who needs pants?
Never been prouder in my life. Up next, we've got, well, Jan, you'll be the next performer. after Sarah.
Hi, my name's Jan. I call them pajama jeans. They're a pair of jeans that make me feel like a human, but they feel like pajamas because they're very old. So, in the words of 30 Rock, pajama alls, pajama always. That's
Thank
what
you
I want.
so much for that. Up next, we've got Archie.
Hey. I've been wearing this white robe and I really don't know what's been under it. So just a white robe and surprise every day. Something,
Still be
nothing.
mysteries. There can still be mysteries in Corona.
Yes. I like to
Next.
put it down every 3 days.
We'll have Malic.
Hello. My quarantine look is just hoodies for days.
Hoodies for days.
But that's also my real life look. So I don't know. It's working right now. It's my excuse.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Up next, Marvette Devo. This
Hello.
dress, you
I'm
just wear the dress
Marvette.
every day.
You know what? I have a shitload of clothes and costume, but I mostly walk around in my giant muumuu.
Yes.
It started off as a caftan, but then I just ripped the sides so it's just big and it flows. And then a pair of these house shoe socks that I got for Christmas that the bottom is almost worn off. So
Amazing.
Easy breezy, beautiful Marvette Devo.
yes.
That's it.
And Emma. Hello.
Hi. How are
Is your
you?
outfit strictly peaches at this point?
What?
Is your go-to quarantine outfit just peaches?
Oh yeah, it's just peaches right now.
No, pretty much I wear shirts without a bra, no peaches, and I also have matching cat pajamas, which I love. That's my kind of go-to.
Amazing.
So.
Would you say they're the cat
Makeup.
pajamas?
Oh.
Oh shit! Definitely. Yep, I am.
Eunji, is she with us? Are you here? Will you shout if you are? Or are you late because you're a comedian and that's what comedians do? Oh, there you are. You're not late.
Hi.
Yeah. Tell us what is your go-to quarantine outfit?
Oh, this crust stuff that's crusty, almost exclusively crusty things.
Crusty couture.
Crusty couture. Yeah.
Couture.
Yeah. It's kind of you to say it's couture, but it's crusty.
I've been following your Instagram. I know exactly what's going on over there.
Yeah. It's mostly it's all one piece crust.
One big crust.
One large crust.
Now you're showing off.
Yeah.
Hiya.
I wear scabs.
Hiya. Are you here?
Hmm?
Where are you?
Who are you looking for?
Hiya.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. I found you.
Found me.
There you are.
You're laughing outside.
Yeah, no, you just didn't need to see my boring ass basement. So you get water. Pretend we're somewhere.
Amazing.
It's Northwest New England.
Uh,
So I am on Zoom about 12 hours a day for work. So I try to put on a bra, and typically it's leggings, and there might be a top. I like to use scarves like a security blanket to pretend like I'm not really in part of the world. So I'm usually mummified.
Amazing.
Scarves are a nice camouflage. It'll make it look like you're wearing real clothes because you're wearing a scarf. So you could be wearing anything.
Yeah.
Plus the
No,
scarf.
legit.
That has been more
Absolutely.
clothes. I've been wearing a
I can
hoodie.
throw on an earring and make it look like I meant
You
it.
don't know.
Like one earring.
One earring. Perfect.
So I can
Okay,
hide. Yeah, I
how
can hide.
about MK?
Hey guys, how's it going? Everybody looks so good. It's so nice to see everybody's faces. My go-to outfit and has actually been dad clothes. Like I'm really just going full in on dad outfits so that Tosh can see what our future with children and many dogs will look like together. And like New Balance, like that's it. That's all I'm rocking.
We're here for it.
No time like the present to see what your future is going to be. So.
Yes.
And last but not least, Sam.
Hello.
Wait, you're muted, boo.
There we go. All right, am I unmuted?
You are there. You are unmuted.
Yes.
All right. Hi. So I'm actually wearing my quarantine outfit. I'm Sam. I haven't changed it. It's just some of these stretchy pants.
You wear shoes?
Well, okay, these are really comfortable.
They look comfy.
They do look comfortable.
I got them off Poshmark. Recommend. Strong recommend. Yeah, no, I haven't changed out of it. I wore my quarantine outfit to the show, so I hope that's okay.
Perfect. Thank you for not changing a thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Not one thing.
Amazing. Are you all just so excited to see more of all of those people? Can you believe? Can you believe?
Now that you know what they've been wearing, you can see them what they are wearing.
And they're not lying.
They're not lying. Here it is.
Amazing. So
who's first?
What a great question. As a matter of fact, let me just pull up this first performer while I tell you a little bit about her.
She looks familiar. Close to
No,
this person.
You're not confused. I'm not using 2 camera angles. The last name is not a coincidence. She is my sister.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure which one of us is younger, you're not alone. Rumor has it that the way to not tell is by our eyebrows. People get confused. They think she has very young eyebrows. Her eyebrows are ancient. What? I can't hear you.
Just give it
Yes.
away, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I have the brows of a 75-year-old woman.
if you were on our last quarantine, you might remember a small child that was interrupting Malic's set about gay sex. That was Sarah's child, actually. She's a woman of many talents. She's a gymnast / massage therapist, which when you combine that, it means that she is like one of the leading innovators in the world and instructors in the worlds of acro yoga and Thai massage. And Jan and I have been doing her weekly Zoom Thai massage classes, and it's been amazing. Highly recommend. We're going to put a link in the chat about how to do that. She's also doing an online prenatal and postnatal massage class thing on Zoom for parents. I'll put all of that in the chat. And tonight, we're giving her the very illustrious title of Energy Fluffer. And I'm going to let her explain what that means. You can find her on the internet under Therapeutics and Mama Cupeutics. I will put all of that in the chat. And with that, Sarah, take it away.
Thank you. Well, you know, I'm originally from Chicago, but I live in Woo now, so super into energy. And I'm going to give you some fun and silly ways to shift your energy a little bit so that we go from whatever kind of quarantine, claustrophobic, frustration vibe you might be on to being ready to enjoy these amazing performers ahead of you. So I am going to highly recommend that you stand up for this first part. Nobody says you gotta, but everybody thinks you should. And I'm gonna give you a physical way to feel what I mean when I'm talking about energy. So just take one hand. This part you can be sitting down for if you really want to stand up. But take a hand and shake it as hard as you can. Make it like you're trying to shake off molasses or honey or something that will not shake off. So really shake it hard. And then stop. Does everybody feel something different in that hand? Okay. So that's energy. So we're just going to shake up our energy because we get a little bit stagnant. We are stuck inside our houses all the time. In 5 Elementary, we call it liver stagnation. Another way to move your energy is a therapeutic dose of alcohol will also move your liver stagnation. So some of you are already right on track with that. The liver margaritas. All right, let's do the other hand. Shake as hard as you can. Do it harder. Shake both hands. Might feel a little bit. Oh, I got muted. Am I good now? Can everybody hear me? All right, cool. Now, take one foot and shake it as hard as you can. Yep, find your balance and then let it go. And we'll shake the other foot. Shake it enough to lose your balance. That's good. Oh, okay, and then let it go. Now, my favorite part, tilt your camera down, turn around, and shake your butt. Take a peek over your shoulder so you can see everybody else's butts. Ideally, put it in gallery view. And then turn around and shake your front butt. Oh, all right. So that's our introduction to energy. Pretty simple. Now that you've got things flowing a little differently.
I just want to not be looking at it, right? That's rude.
I'm gonna talk you through a little.
And talking.
No. All right, I'm going to talk you through a little self-face massage to get your face ready to laugh. So take your fingers right to the inside corners of your eyebrows and just wipe off any irritation with Zoom, with getting on the right call, with your internet connection. Wipe it off and shake your hands off.
Oh, forbidden face touching.
Forbidden face touching. Yes, I give you full permission to touch your face. I hope you sanitized your hands already. Go ahead and wipe off any irritation, wipe off any desire to kill the people you live with. Maybe that's just me. And then realizing that if you kill them, you'll be all by yourself. Shake it off. Cool. Now we're going to choose a spot right outside the nostrils. Everybody will look really beautiful doing this. Take your middle fingers. This is an immunity point. This spot will help you poop and breathe better. And it will tell the coronavirus to fuck off if you use your middle fingers. So use your middle fingers and make some little circles just outside your nostrils. You'll probably find kind of a little tender spot right outside the nostril fold. And you might start to feel a little movement in your sinuses, a little better ability to breathe through your nose. And then you can slide those fingers right off your cheekbones a couple times. And then we'll stop at the end of the cheekbones. Just sink into your jaw muscles. We're gonna unclench our jaws. Stop grinding your teeth just for a second. And see if you can sink your fingers into those muscles and open your mouth really wide. And for bonus points, you can also exhale as you open your mouth wide. And for bonus points, you can stick your tongue out and exhale as you open wide. Oh yeah. That's amazing. Beautiful. Thanks for letting me hear you on that. That's called lion's breath. All right, last exercise is to warm up your belly for laughing. So I'm gonna see if I can show you my belly, which is a little extra because there's a human parasite hanging out in it right now.
Oh my God.
So for this exercise, you're gonna make a really short, sharp exhalation with a ha sound so that your belly engages. So it should look like this. Ha. I'll show you from the side. Ha. So the belly draws in, and you want to be pretty strong with it. Not so strong that you like go into labor or pee yourself, but strong enough that you feel a very sudden movement of air through your mouth. So let's try, if we all can together, take a deep breath in, and we're gonna do 20 ha's in a row on that one exhale. So deep breath in. Yeah, and then I would encourage everybody to turn on quick contractions of the belly, forcing the air out. Ready? Deep breath in. That, my friends, is my 5-minute warm-up to get you out of stress and quarantine and into laughter and fun times mode. Yay, thanks for going on this energy adventure with me.
Let's see if you can. I'm curious.
Yay.
Thank you.
We fixed it. Did we fix it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to.
Check.
What do you like? Hey, I think my kid's gonna be.
How about trivia?
Yeah, trivia.
We'll take some quick contractions of my Margaret Beach.
Apparently alcohol is there. In the last week, yeah. She was like, I think somebody lied to me.
I don't know why I picked that.
Awesome, thank you, Sarah.
That was sensational.
Oh no, get me out.
Sarah, celebrity did they team up with to play Fortnite? I have no idea.
Neither of us answered.
Okay, what was the first film in which Robin Williams played a traditionally dramatic role? Static Party was the name originally chosen for what popular magazine?
Well, that was great. Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for that warm-up. I'm really delighted that everyone is now ready to laugh, to sing along with our next performer. Yes. What's up next?
And so support
We're staying local.
We're right here. No
That's a lot of very like they're either hippies or like super.
So I will play 2 songs. Both themed and derived and parodied from the world we are living in. One new song and one back by said several requests to play this from the last show. So when we get to it, this first one is a play on a song from early 2000. I don't know, sometime, I feel like 1997 to 2003 was music for the world. So Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry, about the new ventures in dating in this world that we live in. So let's take it away. Let's see.
And I'm the official page turner for this act.
And if there are any flubs or mistakes, that's just your computer having technical issues. It's definitely not me at all. So let's try it out. Go on and close the curtains. So we need is computer like you and me. Each a bottle of wine, pretending it's not for one. Well, we know we're here to the end of May, and how we wish you weren't so. So let's small talk on this small chat screen and make believe it's normalcy. Zoom tonight and act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow. I'll be in the same place soon tonight. Act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow.
So
Pick up my own face. I see your dog on the video, and it barks, interrupting you. I pretend I heard what you just said. Not politely like it's true. It ain't easy. Eye contact, person, please. At least try to react. Girl, I am an extrovert.
Baby teeth coming.
Lord, this small talk really hurts. Tonight. Act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll still be here tonight. Act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow. The only difference will be beer. Wow, wow.
Feel free to sing along.
I can't believe you learned to crochet. About me? I tried souffle. We skip formalities. Like a person. Zoom tonight. Act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow. I hope we get along tonight. Act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow. At least I'll have fodder tonight. And act like nothing's wrong. Come tomorrow. Wait, I only have the first version. Do tonight. Act like nothing's wrong. Okay, well the time's almost up, so I hope. All right, it's over. Damn it. Oh. Look to everyone out there on their search on the computer.
I mean, how many of us, who among us has not had at least one?
Can you not move them?
In the last harrowing weeks.
I want to see their faces too.
Harrowing, hair raising. So, all right. Well, that was the first song. Thank you, everyone. This one is back by popular. Let's see, peopler. I would say it was many, but some requests for this to return back, and also again, Lesbian Visibility Week. Our lesbian icons, the Indigo Girls. This is Closer to Play.
Were they?
I'm trying to tell you something about my life. 'cause I'm stuck inside with this COVID-19. And the best thing it's ever done for me is to help me touch my face less frequently and stop rubbing my damn eyeballs. My ADD is raging like a Spanish bull. Can't focus. Whoa, did you see that? No, wait, sorry. I was in the middle of a song. Sorry. My new wardrobe is just a weighted blanket. If sleepy time tea were a drug, I'd take it. I'm open doors. Thank God for the doctors. Thank God for the nurses. I just retaught myself how to write in cursive. There's more than one answer to these, and there's more than one entrance for these COVID germs to get inside and take their time. Unless I touch my face and stay away from kids, closer I am to find. It runs backwards on my thoughts, and I have to use the FaceTime for my therapy. But it freezes and she can't hear my spiraling anxiety. I watched all of Outward and 16 bad queer movies. I watched The Portrait of Lady on a Fire 1,500 times. I spent 4 hours playing Mary fucking Kill with the members of the U.S. soccer team. Go to Home Depot, can't go to the craft store. I'd say a lesbian bar, but they don't exist anymore. There's more than one moment where I contemplated doing Zumba class online. And with every day that passes of this quarantine, further I am from fine. Further I am from fine, yeah. I shot out of bed at 3 a.m. 'cause I dreamt that I was touching my whole face again. I thought there were enough puzzles for me to not get bored. Twice I said I'd write that sitcom pilot more. Instead I curl up fetally. Can't play lazy softball, can't go to Aria High. I thought about masturbation, but got too lonely to try. We go to the chat room, the connection is fleeting. We swipe right on Tinder with no hope of meeting. We watch all feel good, we pretend to work out. We read up on pandemics and we freak ourselves the fuck out. There's no certain answer to the questions about any kind of timeline. And goddamn it, I touched my fucking face again. I'm kind of close to fine. I'm going to be fine. I am so far from fine.
Very well present.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yay!
Girls, thank everybody.
General tip pool.
Oh yeah, general
I
tip.
just sent it in the chat.
You can send anything from. Oops, nope.
Do you think it would be? How do you think it would be different if you had someone living with you?
All right, we got.
Oh, maybe that's a misfire. Maybe that's a misfire. I thought that was a real question.
Oh, here we go. All right, general tips. You can send anything to me, right to this one, and it goes to everyone.
Okay.
People.
General tip pool. Our next performer. I know. Up next, we've got the one, the only, the Archy Jamjun.
Yay!
Yeah.
Outspoken. If you guys have ever been to Outspoken, I go just about every month. It's a monthly storytellers event. It's Sidetrack. And he teaches storytelling classes. If you search him on YouTube, the first video that comes up is titled Archy Jamjun Stripper Daddy. I will share Instagram, Venmo. He's also Archy's going to be performing at Outwards in May. Hopefully we can be doing things. Is that a Zoom event? Is that a real IRL event? What's the story there?
That'll be a Zoom event, and I will pass a link to you after this. And
Perfect. Awesome. I will share. And that Archy, and after Archy is going to be Malic. I've decided this time to give people a heads up of who's next. Malic will be coming up. I'm excited. But right now we've got Archy Jamjun.
All right. Hi, everyone. I can't grow facial hair for shit. However, in high school, beards saved my life. Girlfriends protected me from being completely labeled a fag and allowed me to live in a justifiable denial because although I knew what blowjobs were and which classmates, teachers, and janitors I wanted to give them to, I'd look at my reality and see a girlfriend. This allowed me to dismiss my homo urges and feel normal. Senior year, I met Cheryl. Cheryl and I met at a haunted house I went to with a group from my temple. Cheryl, who was not part of our temple, came with my friend Anne. When Cheryl saw me, she asked Anne to ask me if I thought she was pretty. I looked at Cheryl's mocha Filipino skin, her wavy black hair, and her incredibly coordinated baby outfit and said, sure. Halfway through the haunted house, a ghost rounded the corner and said, boo. Cheryl screamed and backed into my arms, and by the time we exited the haunted house, we were holding hands. A few days later, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Cheryl had fucking game, and over the next few months, I would ditch my last period study hall a couple times a week to drive from Niles West High School to Cheryl's bed in Tinley Park, where we would play patty cake with our privates until our dad came home at 5 p.m. Now we restricted ourselves to the first 3 bases until January 15th, 1996, a day that also happened to be Martin Luther King Day. On that day, freedom rang. On that day, freedom rang. On that day, Cheryl let me place my pee-pee next to her wee-wee, and it eventually slipped in. Neither of us said a word, but the Rosie O'Donnell show began playing in the background. And before that lesbian icon, I remember thinking, oh my God, I am not gay. I looked at Cheryl, scared that what I assumed was her first time might hurt, and she had obviously done this before and was totally fine. Freedom rang. So freedom continued to ring in missionary position for the next 120 seconds until I realized I was about to come inside a person. Rosie was still doing her opening monologue. I panicked, pulled out, and had my orgasm in a familiar spot, my left hand. On the drive home, I felt like I had outsmarted fate. I'd had sex with a woman. Taunting me damned, I am straight. Like any other teenage boy who suddenly finds himself a man, I listened to Madonna's Evita soundtrack on my drive home. Although I had always pictured myself as Evita, I told myself I was now Che and began singing his lines. But sometimes you can feel a sense of confidence about a lie and even look at factual events to justify your lie, but inside you know it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. So I'm driving home 75% ecstatic that I'd become a man, but 25% of me knows I'm Evita. And because I'm a gross boy who doesn't wash his hands after sex, I keep smelling my fingers because I want her lingering scent to turn me on. But it does not at all. The next night I talked to Cheryl.
All day, yesterday.
The next night I talked to Cheryl. No one has ever been happier about 120 seconds. I bought a whole box of condoms. There's like 30 of them. Cheryl was really excited to have sex again. I, however, was terrified. Terrified because deep down, I knew our sex had been an accidental miracle. With my earlier girlfriend, sensations were new, so erections were easy to get. But by the time I was with Cheryl, I was a foreplay jaded 17-year-old who had to use my imagination to get an erection around her. And by use my imagination, I mean I pretended that Cheryl was Mike Szymanski from gym class, Ray the skater boy, Keanu Reeves, or any of the male porn stars who came through the scrambled Playboy channel I received in my bedroom. So that night, before I was to have sex with my girlfriend for the second time, I told myself that if I could do it, I would earn my straighthood and my homosexual desires would start to dissolve. Denial is fucking creative. And thus I rehearsed closing my eyes and getting hard by imagining these naked men and then maintaining that erection while I switched my thoughts to Cheryl. All the while, I reassured myself that this was what all the boys in high school did to have sex, and I confirmed my theory by keeping it to my damn self and asking no one. A practice of suppression that, if continued, is how gay men become Republicans like Mike Pence and Lindsey Graham. The next day, practice did not make perfect. And the condoms didn't help. Putting a condom on was not as easy as my mother had demonstrated with a banana. The result was something akin to a half-eaten gummy worm begging for mercy in a Ziploc bag. My hopes I could be straight sashayed away, and I panicked because there was Cheryl, anxiously waiting to be pleased, and I am a Libra. I was literally born to please people. So I did the next best thing. The thing the men on the Playboy channel did that now strikes terror in my fully homosexual heart. Cunnilingus. Now, I'm not saying vaginas are gross. They are beautiful, I'm sure. I hear each one is its own unique flower. But some people like cats, some people like dogs, some people like cats and dogs, and some people love cats or dogs that are somewhere between dogs or cats. All I know is I'm allergic to pussy. But my one-on-one conversation with Cheryl's Petunia only bought me time. Cheryl wanted the D, not the T. And after a few more attempts, she broke up with me. Did I cry a river of tears after that? Sure. But those tears were tributaries leading away from denial. Thank God Cheryl knew what she wanted, dick, and realized what stood in her way, my gay ass. While I was twirling in my own world of alternative facts, Cheryl brewed some hot tea and served it up. Hey, Archie, said, leaving a voicemail. I don't think someone like me can make you happy. Do you know what I mean? It'd be another year until Matt Leboguen showed me what she really meant in the back of his mom's Geo tracker. But you know who or what did know? My dick. Some people say mind over a matter, and sure, that can be true, especially on acid. They also say men have two heads, and once in a while, okay, maybe once in a long, long while, it's better to listen to the one that can spit the truth, among other things, in your face. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hilarious. Amazing.
Wow. That was good. Yes.
Oh, shoot. Archie, guys. Archie. Jamjun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Last time I saw Archie, we were doing a storytelling thing at a high school, and all the high schoolers were going mental for Archie and asking for his autograph, like only Archie's autograph, and none of the other storytellers' autograph, which was amazing. We were like, yes, should we be asking money from these high schoolers? Like, do they know?
I'm bringing a bucket next time. Hello, Ken.
Yeah, so you guys can, like, I don't know, how are we going to do the Zoom autographs? You have to mail them with, like, a little sanitary wipe. So I'm Sonal, and I'm so delighted to be here. I'm your Robin to the Batman that is Jan and Rada. You guys are the Batman, I guess. And I dropped my phone in Well, first of all, like with isolation, like I had a moment where the TV stopped working for like 2 minutes. I was like, oh my God, for real isolation. But then it's working again. So, I mean, you know, let's remember how blessed we are. And my phone fell into the sink on Monday, and I put it like immediately into rice. And like, they should just sell straight up bags of basmati like at the Apple store.
Yeah.
The water damage
Ready to go.
repair kit with like the Apple logo, ready to go. And you're like, isn't that basmati? And they're like, yes, our research shows that long grain is the best. Moisture reabsorption.
True story.
And like, obviously I had rice at home. Now, will I eat this rice that's now absorbed?
Yes, of course you will.
Down?
Yes.
You have to.
Still have the rice.
You have to.
Apple sticker
For science.
If it comes down to it. You
Save
know.
it for next
Full
time.
of like EMFs. Isn't that rice full of 5G though?
Yeah.
5G rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5G rice.
Yes. The 5G rice.
Can I just say,
It's
like,
gonna taste better. It's gonna taste better.
you go on the interwebs and everything's like 2 days. It has to be 2 days. You have to leave your phone in the rice for 2 days. It can't be 1 day. It has to be 2 days. And I'm like, what better timing to be able to leave my phone in rice for 2 days? I should take some acid.
All your friends are
Right? Like, you need no screens, okay? And I have enough indoor plants that no, I didn't go to the park, but I was like holding my plants, like, you are welcome to thrive here.
Pretty much.
And I'm gonna do a no screen weekend that I'm like so excited about. I feel very fucking spiritual. Okay. And I'm gonna do like no computer, no TV, no phone, which my like friend Danish proposed. He's like, I need to take a break from my screens, bro. I'm thinking like 2 weeks. And I'm like, let's do a weekend. How about that? Let's do a weekend. Let's not be over ambitious. And you know, the phone goes into the water and it's like, oh no, should I put a post up on Facebook? Is it anybody? And then you turn your phone on 3 days later, it's like nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
You get like two zigs. I had one friend who figured it out immediately. Like, she WhatsApp messaged me. She didn't see the blue check marks for like 40 minutes, and then she messaged me on Facebook like, what happened to your phone? Do you have your phone? I'm like, God damn, pro stalker. So I know which of my friends is pro stalker and which of my friends is on the basic stalking package, the ones that just kept texting for 3 days.
2 days.
Y'all need to up your stalker skills. And like I said, I went grocery shopping. So I'm gonna be practicing, and happy 420 month and day to celebrate. I'm gonna do a quick jam for Jamjun, a combination of Kiah Jamjun, because I learned how to play
so tired.
a B. I learned how to play a B, and that is a very okay. You can do an F. Okay, good for you. You can do an F. Anybody can do an F. That's basic bar chord. This is a hard one. And I was on acid, like, I'm like on my balcony looking at the buildings, like, hold on to this. Tomorrow there'll just be buildings again. I was like such a good little like elf to myself. You know, I like left little like surprises for myself, like little like glasses of water and kombucha, like little surprise kombucha. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. That's it. So drop your phone in the sink. Take some ayahuasca, some acid. You know, okay, real quick, and then I'm very excited to bring up your next performer. This is the 420 song.
What?
Wake up and turn me loose. Wake up and turn me loose. Wake up and turn me loose, 'cause I've got some Kiah now. Because Kiah now, Kiah, got to have Kiah now, Kiah, got to have Kiah now. For the rain is falling. I feel so high, I even touch the sky. Above the falling rain, I feel so good in my neighborhood. So here I come again. Got to have Kiah now, Kiah. Got to have Kiah now, Kiah. Got to have Kiah now. For the rain is falling.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
Oh, you're so good.
And now we have Kiah on the show. We have Kiah on the show, so it's a Kiah jam that I went to college with. So are we all on acid? What is happening? What?
Over glad to know each other.
And now your next performer. Absolutely killed it, destroyed. Last Zoom. I mean, just murder in the Zoom room. Everybody dead in their little screens.
Where the fuck is her wife?
And should we can we get my tech goddess crew to highlight the next performer? And let's make some noise right now from your couches, from your living rooms, from and oh, by the way, my phone did come back on after the 2 days in the rice. The rice thing worked.
Yay. Thanks, acid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. If you're muted, it would be cool if you unmuted yourself, because hopefully I will be funny and you can laugh, and that will validate me. I don't know if you all realize this, but Archie and I were actually both brought here to argue for and against pussy eating. And I am one.
I need to prepare a rebuttal. Huh?
That would be a great debate, but I'm so sorry, I would win. Let me just get my microphone really quick. I got to get the microphone.
Waiting for it.
I had to use it again. I'm usually like pretty positive in my stand-up, but I'm having a hard time. Like, I've been quarantined for too fucking long. Is anybody else feeling that?
Yeah.
Feeling antsy?
Yes. Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
off your
we're
mouth.
with you.
Yeah. Last night I had a sex dream about a handshake.
Dude, I'm doing my writing thing. Leave.
Someone's having an argument in the background. Okay, that person himself, and then everybody else stay unmuted. I never thought I would have to roast someone on Zoom, but that's what's happening. The way I'm like gauging my mental health right now is like, if I masturbate more times than I cry during the day, then I'm okay. It's just cool. And it's hard when like we're all having so much anxiety about our health right now. Like, especially me, I'm a millennial, and if you don't know, millennial healthcare is just posting a picture of a mole on Facebook, and I'm like, does this look okay? I don't know. So that's how I've been handling my COVID anxiety, and we're in some politically dark times too. Yes. Like,
super dark, yes, super dark.
Here's the feeling that I have. It feels like when you're a kid and you get lost at the grocery store. Stay with me. And then you finally find your dad and you grab his hand and you look up and it's not your dad at all. It's Joe Biden. It's too hard for some of you. Okay. So like, I'm handling this with my microphone, but I think a lot of people are hanging out at home just getting fucked up all the time, which is cool. But some of my friends have gone sober too. I have some friends who are doing what they call being Cali sober. Do we know about this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You quit drinking, but you keep smoking weed.
Smoking weed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great because like every winter I watch people go Chicago sober, which is when you can't drink anymore because you're passed out on the sidewalk outside the club. Everyone there. Is anyone? Okay, real question. Sonal, mute yourself.
Stop doing dishes.
Sonal's too loud, but is anyone other than Sonal? I don't care about Sonal. Are you getting laid right now? Will you like clap it up if you're getting laid? Spouse, are you fucking your roommate? I don't know. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I live alone. I think a lot of quarantine babies are going to get made. That's what.
Yes.
I never want to have children. However, I do think that I would look really funny as a pregnant person.
Work.
Yeah. Like if I got pregnant, I would just look like a Boy Scout who ate a large meal. Greedy Boy Scout. That's where I would be. And then, like, okay, if I had a kid for that reason, then what do I tell them when they're born? Like, you were a mistake your parent made so they could laugh for 9 months? That's terrible. I would have to deliver a lot of other bad news to this kid. Like, I would have to say, your parent is a lesbian. They are not Ellen DeGeneres, so you're going to public school. Tell all your friends how we're raising you gender neutral, Sage. You have to make a kid when you look like me, if you don't know. There's a whole thing of like, what does the kid call me too? Because I don't look like a mommy, right? But the kid can't call me daddy. That's what other mommy calls me. So that would be a little. Cool. Some of us get that. I think there are a lot of homosexuals. I don't know. So like, I don't do the daddy thing all the time. I'm a non-binary person. And in case that's a gender term that's unfamiliar to you, I'll just explain that really quick. Let's say that you are the kind of person who likes to call your partner daddy during sex. Anybody?
Oh, no.
Hell yeah, Archie. We agree on that.
No, of course.
If you were having sex with me, you would call me your parent or guardian. That's what non-binary means. Sign a permission slip before we go through with the ordeal. That is consent. Oh my God, look at what we I'll leave you with this. This is going to get maybe a little spicy. So, small children named Sage, please exit the room. So, calling me parent or guardian is kind of a mouthful. So, like, every once in a while, I will allow a very nice lady to call me daddy during sex. D-A-D-D-I. It's gender neutral. Keep up. I will call a lady daddy too because I am a feminist. You can never call each other daddy at the same time. There cannot be two daddies. That is against God. The last time I got to touch someone and have sex before quarantine, I got bored with the whole daddy play thing, so I just did some straight up dad play. It's when you're pleasing a lady, like this thing. Right?
New Balance.
And you're just like, get in the car. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Get in the car. It's fun. If you have a roommate, you should try it tonight. Okay, thank you so much, friends.
Yay. That's so good. It's so good.
Congratulations. Malic, what do you call a gender neutral sugar daddy?
Ooh, Oh, someone I know came up with a great one recently, and I can't remember what it was.
Mr. Star.
A glucose guardian.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to be someone's glucose guardian. I'm too poor, but someday.
Or Skittle.
If you'd like to tip Malic.
Yeah, Venmo me so I can be a glucose guardian.
Rada, how amazing it would be if your sister named her baby Sage based on this bit.
You're welcome, Sarah.
Funny, so the next Zoom comedy show they can do it with a rabbit.
Yeah, so they can upgrade their mic.
Upgrade their microphone to a rabbit.
Amazing.
Malic.
For an amazing show as always. Up next, we've got Johanne.
Hi, what's up?
If you want to laugh, you
Hey.
sing performances by darling Marvette. The looks, the voice, the mid-song wig switch.
Yes, that was
Yes.
is
so
an all-time.
what's that? So today I'm gonna do a little. I'm just basically gonna sing because I'm in the singing mood.
Yes.
And I wanna like give you some vocals if that's okay with everyone.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a vocal. I'm a drag performer in Chicago, and I do mostly Andersonville area. The Call, also, you know, just around Andersonville. So I'm gonna do this song for you, and then I'll do another song. Is everybody feeling okay?
Yeah.
Yes. I really appreciate the unmute. Yes, if you keep it unmuted, and then we can hear what you got going on, it's very helpful. It's a good like response for performers. They can, you know, they know your feedback, so you got to give them some energy. So I really like that.
Unless you're banging pots and pans. Keep it to yourself if you're banging pots and pans.
Right. Is the music level okay?
Yes.
The instrumental? Okay.
I can't really hear it.
Keep it a little
louder.
Okay, let me turn it up. Let me do it. Let's do it a little bit louder. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Damn it. I'm so sorry. I had a delay. I got to start over. I had a little delay.
You got this.
Internet. The internet. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. And all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I feel myself. Oh, 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 oh. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired of trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. And all the good times I find myself longing for change. And all the bad times I feel myself. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground.
Woo!
To the surface where they can't hurt us. Far from the shallow now.
All right.
In the shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. We're far from the shallow now. Oh, 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 I'm up the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. Far from the shallow now. In the shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. Far from the shallow now. Shallow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
Not us. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions for Marvette?
Any questions?
Any questions or?
We have a question of where you tip. Put us on and you can see.
Yes.
Right here. Oh shoot. In this, in our hands is, let's see, right here.
Yes. Boom.
Put it in the chat. Let's give you one more time for Marvette.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do another song.
Yeah, Marvette's gonna bring us. Last time, Marvette brought us home at the end, and it was just such a good closing moment. You are gonna get to see another Marvette tune at the end. But up next, we've got
Thank you.
Emma.
Hey.
Yeah, Emma.
How is everybody?
Hey. Hey. Songwriter from Chicago, she serenades folks with her ukulele and folk punk original songs about heartbreak, queerness, and vulnerability. She has an EP, Peachtree, that's out on all listening platforms, iTunes, etc.
Nice. Hey.
Follow her and her Peach Pasties on Instagram. I'll put all of her social media and Venmo and things like that in the chat. And with that,
She also has a look he's on set.
Okay, I think someone else's music is starting. I think it's
So not me, girl. What kind of you got that low level stalker skills. It's not me.
Was it you?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Not even close.
Those are what Sonal.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
You
You
hear my
great.
instrument
Sound great.
You hear my ukulele okay?
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Stars arise, you don't call me. Look want you to stay. No, I just want a really good lay. I just want you to.
I've never seen anybody play the ukulele like that.
I just want you to love me. Not the kind that you're thinking. Oh no, just the kind that lives over the weekend. My mama always said not to give yourself up and away to whoever you want. Well, yeah, that's really good advice. If only love was my greatest love. I just want you to kiss me. I just want you to love me. Not the kind that you're thinking. Oh no, just the kind that lasts over the weekend. I can be it. I can be it. I can breathe, I can breathe. I can be anything. I can be anything. I just want you to kiss me. I just want you to love me. Not the kind, yes, the kind that lasts more than the weekend.
Yay!
Woohoo, Emma!
That song is from my album Peachtree on Spotify. A song for you guys if you're ready for it.
Always ready.
One more song?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, please. One more song.
We loved it. It's peach time.
It's peach time. So my peach pasties are homage to my album called Peachtree, and I'm a cute little peach, so that's why I have them. Also, they make me feel really fucking good. Yeah. It's fun owning your body with music. So this song is called Fuck Right Off, and I wrote it about cat collars because they can fuck right off. I'm not your baby doll, you're sweet. I am not yours. It's my body, not yours. I'm not your whistle call, you sweet girl, 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 girl. I'm not one man. Only. So don't call me your baby. Hey, sweetie, nice booty, nice titties. Come over. Really? Oh, you can fight right off. I'm not your one night stand, your part-time ride. I'm so full-time, and you can't own me. So don't call me up, baby. really nice titties. Come over. Oh, you can find it. And you can love me, and you can hold me.
Yes.
But I don't need you. You know why? 'Cause I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Ooh, yes, I love myself. So you can fuck right off. Thank you. Guys.
Oh my gosh, keep it going for Emma.
Yay!
Woo, woo.
Here we go.
Emma, how do we get a sticker?
You go to my Bandcamp page and you can purchase it there, or you can DM me on Instagram and I'll just send you.
Oh my goodness. And Emma, for the uke enthusiasts, this is a baritone ukulele, correct?
Yes.
And the tuning on that, is that the same as the top 4 strings of a guitar?
They're the bottom 4.
Well, it means the high E up, yeah?
No, it's D, G, B, E, yeah.
That's actually the top 4.
Oh. Well, I play the ukulele, so.
Either way, the top string is actually the farthest away string from you.
Okay, Sonal.
Bottom string is the top string. It's like stage left, stage right.
Jesus Christ.
Bitch, I make art. She's like, bitch, I make art. Why are you?
Gotta be your
Like, just
ball.
accept the shit.
We're about to get uke technical here. Emma and I are ukulele friends. We met in a field in Indiana. I was Lone Brown.
That happens.
Oh, I can hear that sweet, familiar, angelic giggle from the next performer.
No one has ever called it a giggle.
The magical, what is that little pixie noise?
That's a cackle, baby. That's a cackle.
I don't know why you weren't making noise when we asked who's fucking earlier. I was like, this bitch is married. She's lying. Why aren't you making
I'm not fucking. I'm not fucking.
Well, that's a choice.
Yes.
She's married.
My body, my choice.
Your body, your choice. So that was Emma Grace. Give it up one more time for Emma Grace. And now let's make some amazing for, my colleague and coworker and comedian cohort, the one and only Eunji Kim.
Yeah.
Fresh.
You guys, I also have a ukulele.
Yeah.
I was a young woman in the early aughts. And I fucking needed that to complete my Wes Anderson ensemble. Okay, this is a microphone that was once filled with candy from H Mart. So kind of exciting. So wait, by the way, Archie, can I just tell you something? I fucking know the Szymanskis. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Szymanskis, the scariest mom I know. Like they had a scary ass mom. Oh, is there a child in the room? Is there a child?
I thought I was on mute.
Hi. 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 I also have a son, and I shoved him aside, and I was like, "Mommy's got to go." I've had enough.
So
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. It's time for it. Also, by the way, this is like the least drunk I've been this late.
Wow.
In quite some time. Shemansky's, what else? This is what else? Oh, yes, I am not having sex. I'm gonna start. I'm not having sex. I'm not having sex at all. I am married, unfortunately. And it's like one of these situations where I recently bought a Roomba. I bought a Roomba on the internet 2 days ago. And if I can figure out how to attach a dildo to it, ladies and gentlemen, I am getting a divorce. I have, and I have been looking it up. It is a thing that other women have thought about. I'm not alone. But I'm not having sex because, can I ask you guys, like, for those in the room here, metaphorical room, are there people that drink water? Any water drinkers in the room? Let me hear you guys. Make some noise.
Yeah, so hydrated.
I mean, I live in Iowa.
I fucking hate drinking water. I'll force myself to drink 1 glass of water before I go to bed. And that's because I'm an adult now and I've had a child, so I force myself to have 1 glass of water a day. And I've had 7 boozy kombuchas. For those of you who aren't familiar, that's kombucha with alcohol in it. And I have about 6 of them a day. I don't start drinking until 6:30. So like my son never sees me drunk, but he just sees me feeling better. But it turns out, because I looked this up, drinking only boozy kombuchas and no water means that you get yeast infections. So I have had a yeast infection for the entirety of the quarantine. So what that means is, yes. Who's saying no? I'm telling you, it's true. And also it's like the best because one, I'm not having, but that doesn't mean that I can't masturbate. So that's the reason why I'm like, it's really been the cord by my bed is threadbare. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, I mean, but also the thing is, like, I've been masturbating so much, thinking that it'll like help alleviate some of my anxiety, but it just makes my workplace smell awful.
Oh no.
Also, I've like, whenever, like, one of the things I did early on was like, whenever I feel anxiety, I've been trying to kegel, because I was like, I should come out of this like with something that is tight, and but it's too tight. It's too tight. I do have a son, and my, like, for any parents in the room, it's been rough, obviously. So I've just been having my son dig a hole in our yard. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see this hole. It is fucking huge. The other day I asked him, I was like, son, where are you digging to? Because, you know, it's like a very classic thing, like all kids, you're trying to dig to China or whatever. Not in this case, obviously, but like, I was like, so where are you digging to? And he looked at me and soberly was like, out of here. Jesus Christ. I had like a thing, so I made a list because I've been thinking about this a lot, about like the worst people to be quarantined with. Okay, we are all in our individual scenario, in our individual situations. We all have empathy, but I've been thinking about like, who are the worst people to be quarantined with, you know? And I've been on Zooms a lot, and this is my comprehensive list. Okay, so this starts from the best and goes to the worst. Okay, worst people to be quarantined with. Best, I think this is this is just an opinion. None of this is science. Everything I say is a lie. So the worst people to be quarantined with, starting with the best to the worst. Okay, I think being quarantined with an inside of a good 8-month relationship, right? Best. Like right at the beginning, kind of serious. You know you're into each other. That's the best. Below that, an 8-month relationship that's bad, because the stories and the sex are still new, so it's okay. After that is yourself, but yourself at like the best times. You know, like you when you're like mentally well. Okay. After that is you when you're bad. Like for me, it would be from 2004 to 2009. After that is families with teens. After that is families with toddlers. After that is just families. I think one of the worst ones would be a random Craigslist roommate that you hate. Someone I actually know is in that situation. He's quarantined with a Craigslist roommate that he hates. And she not only ends everything with a question like, do you think that tomato is good? But also is one of those people that always gives you advice when you've never asked. True nightmare. Send my friend Damon thoughts and prayers, please. After that is any male roommate between the ages of 18 to 40. And the worst people to be quarantined with, comedians. Because it's okay. I will say this before I go. The thing that I really miss the most is I was looking at my bank account today, and there's like, I miss wasting money. I miss wasting money so much. I miss going into a Target and spending $20 and coming out with a bag of balloons. Do you know what I mean? Like I miss that. I'm a senseless, foolish person, and I legitimately I need the right to do that. I am a wasteful piece of shit, and it sucks that I can't do that. Like I can't. You know what I mean? Like I miss wasting. I have so much extra money that I didn't anticipate having. Like outside of like losing a lot of money, but. But there's no Ubers, there's no alcohol, there's no stupid grilled cheese sandwiches like that I'm buying at 4 a.m. Like, anyone else feel me on this? Wasting money? Okay, please send me to. I will end on this. I have this thing where my son, like, I am like not trying to push anything on my son. Whoever he chooses to love or be, whatever, I'm cool with it. I will say that, he goes out into the world and society will foist whatever the fuck they're going to foist on him. And so lately, he's been coming around and saying like, Mama, I want to marry a girl. Yeah, you guys, heartbreaking. And heartbreaking. Because, 3 weeks ago, he wanted to marry me. Who the fuck is this bitch? And like, also, we've been in quarantine. Where have you gone? What the fuck? Who are you meeting? Yeah, thank you guys.
Venmo. Tip your performers. It's also in the chat.
And I have to plug the Instagram because she's literally like a food blogger. Watch her stories.
Oh yeah.
And the podcast. She's got a great podcast, Ajma Show. Get on that shit for sure.
Pick it up. Doing a vegan moment, a vegetarian moment today. I was there for it. Yes. All right.
I ate like 2 pounds of crab today.
All that extra money must be rough.
Oh, right. You guys, we're down to only a few more performers. It breaks my heart, but each of them is fucking fantastic. Mm-hmm. Up next, we have Ms. Kiah, earns a Pulitzer, is an author, activist, facilitator, diversity, equity, inclusion expert, fucking public speaker, advocate, and former Vermont state representative. What? Also, is there anything that she cannot do?
What?
performer, we held a karaoke performance a couple weeks ago.
She brought the house
Played
down.
2 songs, killed it.
Brought the house
Brought the Zoom space down.
And today we have the great pleasure of experiencing some of her poetry because there's nothing she can't do.
On Walden Pond, or wherever you may be.
So with that, I'm gonna let you take it away. I'm gonna put all the Instagram, Venmo in the chat, but go right ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate this. This is kind of funny and fascinating, and I'm so appreciating the love. Thank you so much. This is exciting. So yeah, I was like, yo, how do I get up onto this next show? I really want to figure this out. I was like, can I connect with y'all? Because this was this is beauty last time, right? And so I decided to do poetry, but then there was the question of, do I blow your minds with something really fucking serious? Push y'all a little bit towards your higher selves? Or do we just talk about some bullshit like Channing Tatum? So I need your votes. Okay. So if you want, I mean, both these, if you've ever watched my poetry, if you've been to one of my shows, anything like that, these are fan favorites. So it's a toss up. So which one do you want? One is funny, and the other is like, oh fuck life.
Oh fuck life.
Let's clean up our brains. Clean up our brains.
I'm throwing up the chat. Where are we at, people? Where are we at, people? I need some feedback here. Yeah. What is it, Channing? Blow my mind. Oh, fuck life. Blow our minds. All right, y'all. Okay, I guess I'm bringing the serious. See, at least in my sets, I like break you down to the bareness of your soul, and then I pull in the funny piece. So at least you're not like dying, right? So, but we'll go straight for the realness. So I'm grateful that you all are willing to be patient with me through this and to go through this piece with me. This is probably my most well-known piece at this point in time. And I think we need this. This is some ridiculous bullshit we're in right now. This is some ridiculously deadly bullshit that is absolutely 100% because of the fact that we have not held our elected people and our folks that are in power accountable for the shit they have promised they would do that they did not do. And I wrote this piece actually driving up to the State House. This was inspired by a crazy moment of a workplace environment I was in that was just fucking hateful and racist and sexist. And I just cried for 3 hours straight while driving, which I don't recommend you do over mountain passes, but that's exactly what I did. And to get through that and not kill myself again the next time I had some feelings about things, I wrote this piece. So it's called Anthem. You seem angry. White supremacy says with a snarky, sadistic grin as it presses its hand down on my face, smothering my protesting mouth, crushing my upturned nose and chin. See, this is the only way that business works. The business of world domination, and your submission is just a part of a system of manipulation to ensure that you remember your place in this nation, where your citizenship is conditional. See, there are no true birthrights to respect or acknowledgement of your humanity, firstly, because of your race. We owned you before you were even born. A legacy in a system that has never seen you as truly human, equal to none, and inferior to all. Inferior to all. See, your allowable presence is conditional, so don't tell me that your life matters, girlie, because it doesn't. All lives matter, it says in an infantilizing tone. Not black lives, all lives. Because acknowledging your place in this world requires a recognition of a unique human experience that we have determined is not worthy of recognition. How dare you even breathe with such grace? Each conversation must be heated, dank, and heavy in order to be legitimate. A true bloody battle of words. I was once told that you do not have to attend every argument that you are invited to, so why is my existence the site of so much spiritual warfare? but we will never fight fair, it says. We gleefully paint ourselves with your spilt blood as the victims of your inherently evil ways, your truth-telling, your interruption to our superior trains of thought. See, we will talk over you, dismiss your ideas, and then repackage them as our own. Call it diversity, and then profit richly off of your name. Your body fascinates. Erotic, exotic. Sweet dark chocolate is the pet name that sexual exploitation gives me. Dark and so different. To be readily consumed as a bucket list experience, no different than a trophy elephant slaughtered on safari, slayed and displayed for pleasure and bragging rights. I know that I must use deliberate caution in my wardrobe so as to not incite the imaginations of those who control that ubiquitous lens, that gaze, that lusts and disgusts at my sight at the same time. The cat calls and the winks, the unintentional but blatant touches, the indecent physicality of everyday encounters, the loaded invitations to have fun. See, it was never actually raped because you wanted it. In fact, you begged for it with that round ass and sassy mouth of yours. Black women are insatiable and lascivious, and your Africanness gives you the power of voodoo and your dark, magical seduction over lazy minds. See, we download your porn and obsess in our fantasy, but will deny any complicity when grandma asks us who shares our bed. Our women fear what you represent and wear their insecurities like a badge. A centuries-old jealousy burned into the DNA of white women whose mothers watched their husbands rape, take, and relish dominance over women in the slave quarters, harem halls, and whorehouses of the world. How dare you stand there in lack of respectability and enjoying pleasure on your terms? Which part of objectification do you not get? You are a toy, a plaything, a trendy topic. You are never to be trusted, but totally consumed and then tossed into the periphery of history. The corporate America chimes in with a sneer. And your hair. It's a little too revolutionary, unkempt and so non-white. The test has come time and time again that promotions in my career sync perfectly to the timing of when I move away from black hair to appropriate whiteness. I must prove my commitment to become fully assimilated, to ascend beyond. All of my hard work and accomplishments are still beholden to the whims of somebody else's grace and willingness to give me what I have damn well earned. I live in liminality, never secure that I fit whatever twisted vision or whatever of their tribal team, fit, culture, exclusionary, human resources catchphrase of the day that dictates my professional marginalization. I just keep demanding entrance into the places that they tell me that I don't belong. And the gatekeepers, they hold tight the keys and they smile in your face as they're trained to do and review the terms of agreement that state that you deserve but a penance and will accept far less until you prove your worthiness to enter again and again and again. You will do more. You will make a way from no way and absorb the psychic baggage and physical destruction that that exclusion causes. You have been bred through slavery, through unnatural selection, to have a superhuman ability to endure way too fucking much. You will dance. You will produce until your body collapses and your fingers bleed from the sweat equity of the Black American nightmare. And I pull the food from my child's mouth to pay the exorbitant financial price of admittance, promised through degrees and accreditations and professional development and deeper levels of commitment that others are expected to give. It was all conditional. It was all laid out in legalese. I just didn't read between the lines of the fine print and the social contract over my life. I trusted in the goodwill of the powerful and the privileged, and now I am left spent, crushed, and quivering. And I fight back with the strength of 100 dark-skinned queens who held their tongues when they were called pretty for a Black girl. I speak louder with the conviction and ferocity of 1,000 servant women who were told that they were poor because they were lazy. I blatantly call out systems of oppression with the tactical acuity of women warriors like Nzinga, Tubman, Nani, and Shakur, and they turn on me. They scream curses at me for disrupting their ignorance. They join in unison to say, foolish girl, it is you, it is us, it's you who has the problem. Your truth has wounded our pride, and you must make us whole again. I fight back tears. Exhausted from so many daily battles, tired and worn. My defeat is what they want. My acquiescence is what they need to put things into their rightful order. But I cannot be beaten unless I accept it, and I know that I must rage against this machine. No longer a conscientious objector to participating in this war, these ongoing battles for my soul, here and now. And the agony that is contained within cannot be held back. And I feel the dignity of my foremothers being pulled out of whack, my spine stacked high with historical memories of warriors and goddesses who bowed to no one. Thus begins my transformation into my authentic self. My skin tears at the graceful mask that I wear when I need to hide, scraped off in desperation to expose raw flesh, a complete lack of natural pride as the blood rushes forth, my cheeks hot and reddened, teeth grinding and clenching, gnashing and gnawing, the pinpoint precision of the drum cadence of my heart pounding through my temples. Eyes tired and weary, stinging, screaming, reddened, full of fiery rage, singing to the tops of my lungs. Anthems to freedom, to rejection of bullshit, to empowerment. Long, hot, and hard for hours, hours on end, tears, blinding tears, thousands of years in the making for hours on end, until my throat cinches up like a vice and my body in all-consuming agony, and there is nowhere left to go than to leave this fallacy. More final than a divorce. I look at my complicity in fostering this repression. I see the carnage brought by this oppression. I reflect on the photo album of my memories and realize that my smile has always been half measured. There for the moment, but not real. And it all becomes too much. I reject the notion that this relationship has ever worked for my benefit. So I will call you out by name with no terms of endearment or forgiveness. Racism, misogyny, white supremacy, capitalism, bigotry, rape, exploitation, and all your relatives on your blood-stained family tree. I clearly see you for who you are and what you are, and I say to you in a loud and clear voice, no matter how clever the lie you tell, it was you all along. I will not leave this legacy to my children. I will not place this imprint on future generations or make them think for even a minute that this has to be their life, their reality. My life is mine to create, and I will rise. I'm done. I'm gone. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mind blown.
Yes.
The right choice.
Yes.
Can you hold that up? Yeah.
You can buy my book.
Yeah.
She's got a book.
Put the link in the
Yeah, put the link.
It's in there.
She's got a whole ass book.
Put it again.
You can see it on
Unji's
my
mind is in
website.
shambles. Yeah. You know how like
and there's a special tonight. If you buy my book tonight, no shipping.
get her back. Put it back on Kiah.
On your site? Or on
Yes, go to KiahMorris.com. You buy my book, there's no shipping in the United States.
Debbie, if you scroll up the site, Debbie has put it.
Oh, okay. Great.
Or link to the site.
Buy this that way, no shipping.
Yeah, and also,
Thank you.
this is also give money to these.
I put it in the chat.
These things. Here we are.
And just keep it going for like, you know how, I don't know if anybody's gone to college with anybody, but you know how that's like a timeline. It was a long time ago, like 2004, 2003, 4, and that's like, oh, this bitch has a book. What else have people done? And that go Kiah! This is such a cool way to hang out. Now, who we got next, Rada?
I am so excited to introduce you.
Look at this setup.
This is Jan and my long-term friend from Boston, and in fact, a recent guest on my podcast, The Darkest Force. And MK once packed up her guitar case and moved to the south of Spain, and so tapas and a chance to live outside her comfort zone. And yes, if you listen to the podcast episode, you hear that line. She asked that all her actually donated to COVID-19. Her preference is for animal shelters or education. And she also requested a Jan intro pun.
I was just gonna say, if you like her, we'll say yes, okay?
All right, I'll take that one. That's good. That's good.
Underneath those clothes, well, anyway, dad bod, whatever. Great kickball player.
Well, actually, some of my teammates are on the call, all the way down in Dallas. They have dialed in for just for the event. So you got people all over the place.
Yay, Dallas!
Way to go, Dallas.
I'm gonna hand it over to you. I will Venmo and Instagram and Twitter, or not your Venmo because we're donating to charity.
Yeah, don't Venmo me anything. Yeah, please. I mean, there are so many other incredibly talented people tonight. So if at all you feel generous, please double down on the people that you have just blown your mind tonight. I mean, I'm still reeling from Kiah's just segment just a second ago. I'm like, wow, shit, man, I need to be doing way more with my life. Like, I haven't written a book. I barely even read those books. Those are just there for just for aesthetic, to make it look like I'm smart. So, without further ado, I have 2 songs prepared this evening, both of which are a cover, one of which you definitely will know. The first one and when we go to the second one, I want everybody to sing in. So just like everybody just vibe, feel yourself. But this first one is by a queer band called Muna. Is anybody familiar with Muna? Yeah, everybody knows their song, I Know a Place. It was a huge anthem. But I also think that they have this breakup song that I just can't get enough of.
Crying on the bathroom floor.
So this song is called Winter Break. And I will see if we can mute the microphone so that I don't bust everybody's speakers. Just let me know. Can we mute everybody? Muna. You say best be going 'cause it's getting late, and I say don't I walk you home 'cause it's on the way. But the last time we made love you lived in tears, but this time I'm wondering how to leave it here, and I haven't seen you since last winter break, and I know that I broke your heart. Always a smart one, always so intelligent. You must know that I took it hard. Oh, baby, I think we both know this is love that we won't get right. Still, if you say that you want it, I know I'll always have one more try. Oh, baby, I think we both know that this is love that we won't get right. But still, if you say that you want it, I know I'll always have one more try. You pull that face like here we go again, so I pull the flask out the back of my jeans, and then you take a pull. And in my mind we're in my bed, and I'm pulling your sweater up over your head, and I haven't seen you since last winter break, and I know that you hate how that went. Always a smart one, always so intelligent. You must know what's happening. Oh, baby, I think we both know that this is love that we won't get right. But still, if you say that you want it, I know I always have one more try. Oh, baby, I think we both know that this is love that we won't get right. But still, if you say that you want it, I know I always have one more try. Oh, it's magnetic, isn't it? The sense of something underneath the surface. You're laying on thin ice. Just a little bit masochistic, tentative ellipses, parting of your lips and the ache in your eyes. I think I'm gonna kiss you. Oh, despite all that we both know, that this is love that we won't get right. But still, if you say that you want it, I know I'd always have one more try. Oh, baby, I think we both know that this is love that we won't get right. But still, if you say that you want it, I know I always have one more try.
Yeah.
Woo! Thank you. All right, so this next cover is not necessarily by a band that identifies as like a queer band or even like a gay band, an alternative band, but they've turned into like kind of a queer like icon band. I don't know, mostly because of their big blown out hair and the crazy drama and all of the like sex, drugs, and rock and roll that ensued between the band members. It feels like a lot like a lesbian relationship where you're like, oh my gosh, I slept with your friend, your ex, and your ex slept with this, but there's just like this like weird web of all that shit going on.
Is it the Pussycat Dolls?
It's not Pussycat. Maybe next time I'll take some requests of Pussycat Dolls.
Karaoke. Commercial.
No Pussycat Dolls on this one. But how about a little Fleetwood Mac? Everybody? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, they're
close. This time, y'all just unmute yourselves, have fun, sing along with me because everybody knows this song and it's such a chill, mellow song. I mean, I did see Sonal just like token up a minute ago. So like, girl, you're going to be feeling it just a minute ago. So, all right.
Get that there.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right you should play the way you're feeling. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had, what you lost, what you had, what you lost.
Everybody now.
Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. There's only love you when you're playing. Say will come and they will go. When the rain was shining,
You know.
you know. Now here I go again, I see crystal visions. I keep my visions to wrap around your dreams. Have you any dreams you like to sell? Dreams of loneliness like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had, what you lost, what you had, what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. There's only love when say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain was shining, you know.
All right, now just you guys, ready?
When it's raining. There's only love when you're playing. They women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes down to clean your love.
Yay!
That's
awesome.
Amazing.
Everyone.
So good.
So good. Thank you for having me.
Next time you guys do don't jump.
You're amazing.
Pussycat dolls.
Next time, Pussycat Dolls. You got it.
Okay.
I got it. Only if it's a duet with Jan.
Yes. We'll do a Fleetwood Mac Pussycat Dolls remix.
Ooh, mashup.
Hell yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Calling two songs together these days. What we'll do. Amazing.
I'm into it. All right, guys.
Thank you, MK.
Thank you.
Matt. Oh, you guys. We've only got 2 performers left. Damn Rush is up.
Hi. My roommates are also here.
Oh, hi.
What's up, Remy?
I have roommate.
We love a crew. We love an extra crew.
So I actually know Sam through Sam's sibling, sister, Alana. We went to grad school together. Sam began writing poems after developing progressive hearing loss and realizing how many words each word should be. And I love that. I love that. They were finalists in 2016 National Poetry Slam and are the author of a book called Swallow, which is a sibling rivalry press that is just coming out in September of this year, which is awesome. So I will put Instagram and Venmo and website and all the stuff, and I'm just gonna let you take it away, Sam.
Whoa. Okay. Thank you so much. This is like the sweetest show. It's really nice. I like it.
We're happy to have
Yeah,
you.
well, thank you for being a part of it.
I'm like, oh man, I wish that I was hanging out with all of you in a room that was made of like wood instead of
Someday.
Computer.
Also, this is great that the internet made this room.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being in our room too.
Yeah.
I can't hear that well, so I'm looking at the tiny captions, but I don't know what you're saying. But I hope it's good. I hope it's positive things. Okay. I want to read this poem. It's about spandrels. So spandrels, the first part of the poem, it explains what those are. So, okay, so it's an architectural term. So like if you built two rounded archways next to each other, adjacent, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll leave above them an empty V-shaped space. And that space is called the spandrel. And then evolutionary biologists borrow the term to describe a trait that has no functional value, but is the byproduct of selection for a useful adaptation. So like your tailbone, it's a spandrel. Or like nipples on people who don't lactate, that's a spandrel. And anthropologists suggest that our human tendency towards belief in the supernatural results from selection for a trait called agent detection, which is our ability to assign motives to that which happens outside of ourselves. Like to imagine a story around the empty space around a why. The belief in God is nothing more than an evolutionary accident. Leftover space around a useful adaptation. A spandrel. Spandrel. Once a man held me in his arms like a question mark, and for the first time, I wished there could be two objects with no space between them. Spandrel. My father taught me grief is like a hole inside of you. Mourning doesn't fill the hole. It is simply how we learn to live around it. Spandrel. When I was 15, God or something like it plucked a hole in me, and my hearing began to drip out slowly, leaving behind an empty space, the space filled with a piercing ring that aches and wakes me in the night. Spandrel. I learned to love from stories of boys with waking boomboxes held above their heads and pillars of salt. The story goes, love is love when it turns its object's name into a seraphim, their voice into a prayer. Spandrel. Sometimes I hear voices in the ringing. Sometimes I hear the voice of the man who held me in his arms like a question mark. Sometimes I hear the voice of God. Sometimes I cannot tell the difference. Spandrel. The thing about love and death is that they both turn humans into gods without asking. Spandrel. Sometimes I hear voices in the ringing. Sometimes I hear the crack of the rope he hung from in a quarry outside Cincinnati. I do not know the shape of it. I imagine a gaping empty space. Spandrel. I do not wish to make this man a god. I do not wish to erase the callous in his voice or the careless moments of greed. I do not wish to write him into my own mythology, to absolve an empty space in the spandrels at San Marco in Venice, Italy, are carved portraits of angels. Onlookers crane their necks upwards to gaze upon them towards heaven and forget the ground. Spandrel. Once I fell in love the way the story goes, and I forgot my own name. The story goes you will be loved into a hole. The story goes you are born with a hole inside of you, the shape of your lover's arm or ear or crooked neck. The story goes you will look upon your lover and see heaven in your eyes. Spandrel. I do not wish to forget your eyes for heaven. I do not wish for a love that cranes my neck upwards and away from this earth's spandrel. I try to hold myself at night like a question mark, but cannot coax my body into arching, because it is harder for me to imagine a story that ends in a trans body coming than it is for me to imagine a story that ends in a trans body coming back from the dead. Spandrel. I'm afraid to be loved like a symbol. I'm afraid to be loved like a myth, like a monolith, like a mystery. Spandrel. I am afraid of a love that will turn me to false god only to prove me fallacy. Spandrel. There are voices in the ringing. In the silence, there is a song. And I know he is not waiting for me out there in the gaping air, but I swear to God, I hear something. Thanks.
Come on!
That's my roommate. My roommate.
Hey!
Woo!
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's good that my roommates are here because what if I do shows and they're not here, that I'm just yelling alone in my room. Just me yelling alone in my room. Okay, I was gonna maybe read one more small poem.
Woo!
Cool. It's about cock sucking. So I thought maybe that would be okay. It's a sonnet, which doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that is, but it just means that it was harder. Okay. It's a sonnet for cock sucking and baptism, and this is about it's about how great it is that cocks aren't only things that grow on your body. Cool. Sonnet for cock sucking and baptism. Forgive me, Lord, for I have a mouthful of dicks and not all of them organic. Forgive me the virgin coconut oil in lieu of water-based lube, like I think I'm better than that or some shit. Anointed dick. I grease the word and coat my tongue in it. Let all I lap be wrapped and swaddled in. I spit and poof, magic. Watch the plastic twitch. Lord, inside my salve, your accidents grow stiff. Suck fist to dick, the knuckle dick. I laughed, Dick Midas, now the sky is dick. I lift my lips to dick. I speak the name you chose yourself aloud. And we feel it every inch. Thanks, that's all I got. Thank you so much.
Woo!
My roommates are right here cheering. Lucky me. Okay, thanks. Have a good night.
Yes, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, wait. Well, that was incredible. Anyway. Yay! And let's get this. I'm gonna choose it. If you
Here we
want
are.
to give this,
You can tip to.
tip to right here, somewhere where my hand is pushing. And nope, don't block it. There we
It
go.
is heartbreaking to me to say this, but
What
we
is it?
have our last performance.
Yeah,
Our last
that went
performance
fast.
of the night.
Oh.
Goodbye.
I know. There's always we can always hang out longer. We just the
every
performances are
every
ending.
time Jan and I
Yes.
have an event, we
It's-
always do it, and then we're always like, but we'll keep hanging out.
The performance is maybe done, but that will come after the next performance.
Oh!
Queen Regal Royalty.
I'm thankful, Marvette, for bringing down the end of this.
Hi.
That,
And I'm
So yeah, I'm gonna do a song for you guys.
yes, we love it.
It's always fun hanging out. So
Yes, we love you. We love hanging out with you. Thank you.
yeah, keep inviting me. I like it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And everyone should watch. Marvette does great. Marvette, you do your makeup on Instagram, and it's always
Yes, I do.
It's amazing. Everyone should watch it.
Tune into the live.
Tune into the live. Instagram.
Yeah, tune into the live, and then sometimes if I don't get too drunk, I do a show.
Yes.
So yeah, I am a Chicago bearded beauty. I'm a drag performer. I do keep my beard. I'm very hairy. I feel sexy. And you know, I've been doing drag for maybe 2 years now. And I really like it. So, and I'm a performer. I sing live. So I'm gonna do another song for you. Thank you for enjoying this performance. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright in the beautiful sea. I choose to be happy. You and I. Diamonds in the sky. Shooting star I see. Vision of ecstasy. When you're me, I'm alive. Diamonds in the sky. I knew that we'd become one right away. Oh, right away. At first sight, I felt the energy of songwriting. I saw the light inside your eyes bright. Tonight, you and I, beautiful diamonds in the sky. I too, so alive. Beautiful diamonds in the sky. Oh, oh, oh. Beautiful diamonds in the sky. Oh, oh, oh. Beautiful diamonds in the sky. Palms rise to the universe as we moonshine in Malic. Feel the warmth will never die. Diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see. Vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. Diamonds in the sky. I knew that we'd become one right away. Oh, right away. At first sight, I felt the energy of sunlight. I saw the light inside your eyes, bright. Tonight, you and I, beautiful diamonds in the sky. I too, so alive. Beautiful diamonds in the sky. Oh, oh, oh. Beautiful diamonds in the sky. Oh, oh, oh. Beautiful diamonds in the sky. Oh, oh. Beautiful diamonds in the sky.
Yay!
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, that was amazing. Because we're all beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone's diamond.
Thank you.
Nice.
Diamonds in the sky.
We can't wait till we get the world. We can't all get back together and come see you at the call.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Well, please, as in, yes, when it happens. If it happens.
Yeah.
Even if it's next year, then come see me. I'll be there.
Yeah, will happen in June. We'll open up June 1st. Birthday's June 8th. We're all celebrating everyone on this thing. We're all meeting at the call.
The
to watch
Geminis will not let
Marvette
this
at-
pandemic
Yes.
persist.
No Gemini, not on the Gemini's watch.
No.
So.
Thank you all. You're all perfect and wonderful and heavenly. And we'll do another one.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. And now we've got all your email addresses because I made you register on Zoom.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for just being with us, watching. And also, if you want to, we'll send out an email again with the recording, with the donations, social media, the donations for the individual performers, but also the general donation. We'll give it to the performers because that's what we're here for. They entertain us. They make this life in quarantine more livable. So thank you so much for all your donations and supporting art and artists.
Ooh, and Sonal just had a great idea that if anybody wants to stick around and we want to turn it into like a little open mic moment.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
So we'll keep hanging out.
Yeah.
If you want to just like.
If anyone has anything they'd like to share.
Yeah.
I mean, it just turns into the Sonal show.
If it's a Sonal show.
Share time.
This is so This turns into a currently 46-way Zoom date. We're all doing great. I'm swiping right on everybody in this Zoom right now. So
great.
Yeah.
We could just do an audiobook of Kiah's book.
Oh, do you have that yet, Kiah? Can we get the audio version with the regular book? Are you going to do that?
As soon as I don't have to work like so fucking much, yeah.
With all of us,
Amazing.
It will happen.
Well, if you are jumping off, I invite you to come off mute and say good nights and let us see your cute faces.
Night.
Good night. Bye, Ellie.
Bye. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.